Well, I'm out and about today, and I'm in one of my favorite places, and that is the outdoors, and more specifically the woods here. Summer's quickly winding down, fall's coming upon us, and as a hunter, it is time to get out there, do some last-minute scouting, and hang the stands, get ready for the season. But before you can do any of that, safety is the number one concern. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a safety climbing harness, and it's actually a rock climbing style harness, and it's made by XBen. I've been using rock climbing style harnesses for years now. I just prefer them in my hunting. I'm going to get into some of the pros and cons of using that style harness for a hunting application in just a little bit. But first, I'm going to do a quick review of this XBen, and then I'll do a little bit of a demonstration and go over some of the pros and cons that I see. I'm not going to be doing an unboxing per se, because frankly it was pretty anticlimactic. It just comes in a clear plastic bag with an XBen label on it. But here is the harness that you get on either side. It has the lineman attachments. In the back here you have a label. The loop directly in the back is for the optional shoulder harness. You can put a full body harness then with this attachment. You have a padded back, has padded leg straps on either side. Your front main attachment for your tether, and also pretty quality stitching. I'm happy with the quality of stitching, all that I see the whole way around it. You have adjustment buckles, 2 of them for your waist, and then again you have them for your leg. This particular harness is a step-through design, so I just like to lay it directly on the ground. Simply pull it up, tighten the waistband, tighten each of the leg bands. Another nice feature your extra bands, both on your legs and your waist, come with this strap management system that slides. That's nice. Has a real comfortable fit. You have your main attachment up front here, and like I'd mentioned, on either side you have lineman belts attachment. You have 3 accessory straps, one on either side, one directly in the back. Again, you have your elastic bands here for comfort. So as I promised, I'm going to be doing a quick demonstration of using a climbing safety harness, rock climbing harness if you will, as your primary safety source for climbing a tree, hanging tree stands, hunting out of. And this all came about several years after I had a couple close calls with some pretty good buck, and the tether from around the back of my neck got in the way. Inevitably, you're watching a deer come in, he circled directly behind me right at the last minute, and I'm stuck in my stand, twisting and turning around and getting all tangled up in my neck tether. So as the rock climbing harnesses became more popular for hunting, I took a serious look at them and I switched, and haven't regretted it since. And I'm going to go over some of the pros and cons of that now. So as I mentioned, when I'm climbing a tree, you want to be attached from the time you leave the ground until you get into your stand. And for me, that involves 2 different ropes. One is what I call my lineman's belt, and that attaches to your 2 attachments here on the side. That allows you hands-free movement. You want to stay attached, as I said, to the tree at all times. My second belt would be what I would call my tether, and that is going to be my main attachment for when I'm in my stand, or this is going to help me navigate around limbs as I'm going up the tree. But as I mentioned, this first belt, I have a ropeman ascender attached to the side here. That actually gives me attachment whether I want to be closer to the tree. One hand, I can loosen that. One hand, I can tighten that back up, pull it closer to the tree, or again, release it further away from the tree. This gives me plenty of room to be working, whether I'm mounting a stick for my next step up, or whether I'm going to be attaching a stand. Totally hands-free, and that allows you to safely climb a tree without compromising your safety in any way. So if you would be approaching a limb or to actually hunt out of, then before you climb into your stand, I simply attach my main tether here to my front point, tighten that up, and at this point my lineman's belt can be taken off, So now I'm tethered in to my main attachment point here in the front of my harness, and this is where I see this style safety harness excelling. When you're actually in the stand, it's out of your way, you actually have it tucked back behind you, but in the case of a fall, you would simply drop down, and this is the position you're going to end up in case of a fall. You can work yourself around, get back up into your stand. The other style harnesses, actually, that the tether comes out the back of your neck. For the most part, when you fall down, you're going to be spun around and you're going to be facing away from the tree, making a self-recovery pretty difficult. This, when you actually fall, you're going to be falling in this position, and you're going to be free to move about the tree and climb back onto the stand. And I highly recommend getting out there practicing. Don't launch yourself out of a stand, but just get a couple feet off the ground, suspend yourself from your harness, and just see how difficult it actually is when you're held there by the safety harness at the back of your neck. This here being held in this position first orients you towards the tree, which you're going to want to be anyhow to get back into your stand, and it's actually just pretty comfortable hanging there. So I find this type of harness very helpful for that. Secondly, as I already mentioned, the tether is not in your way for hunting. When you're in your stand, tether is about waist height and stays out of your way at all times. You can easily move your bow from one side to the other. Well, those are some of the pros that I see and why I actually use this style harness for my hunting and safety. But there are a few cons, and one is for this particular type harness is a step-through design. If you have really big, bulky boots on, it's going to be difficult to step through that. You're going to want to put this harness on before you put your boots on. But I do have hunting boots on here today, and I was able to step through the legs just fine. Another negative that I would see in this particular harness is I will be putting some matte black paint over the silver attachments here on this lineman's belt. It won't affect the functionality at all, but I see these as too bright, too shiny, too glaring for my particular hunting situation. If you're simply rock climbing, outdoor adventure, roof work, pool work, there would be no concern with that. Well, as you can see, I think the XBen safety climbing harness would be a great addition to many different outdoor activities. Its wide adjustment on the waistband and leg bands makes it fit virtually anybody. As you can see, I've been suspended for quite a while now, and I feel no discomfort or pinching in the legs or anything. It has this padded back support and leg supports, which make it very comfortable to wear. I think the price point of it is very affordable, and it'll allow you to get into this style harness, check it out, and see how you like it for yourself. I'm going to be placing a lot more information from the manufacturer down in the description below, and I'll put a link if you'd want to purchase it on Amazon. You can check it out down below. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video.